everyone. How is it going? I'm going to do a quick sound check and kind of let YouTube do its algorithmic magic, putting this out there. We are on a vertical live today. How exciting is that? How is everyone? How is everyone doing? If you're joining, my goodness, say hello in the live chat, please. So as you join, please say hello. And if you're watching the replay where I have all the timestamps, drop me a comment, say hello. Sometimes I don't hear from you all who watch the replay, and I'd like to hear from you. So let's see. Let's make sure we got sound here. I think we do. Hi, you can hear me? Great. Great. All right. I'm just not seeing this get filtered yet. Hi, Karen. What's up? There we go. Okay, now I see. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. All right. Aloha. Aloha, aloha. Good, you can hear me. I've got Stitch here with me. Isn't he cute? Oh my gosh, we took my kids to see Lilo and Stitch yesterday. It was so fun. And he talks.
Aloha, Stitch.
Aloha, Stitch.
Yeah?
Are you hungry?
Oh, coconut cake and coffee, please.
He likes coconut cake and
Yeah.
coffee. Are you naughty?
I'm with my family.
Oh, Ohana.
Ohana means family. And family means no one gets left behind or forgotten.
Isn't he so cute? So, except when he's naughty.
Stinky planet, yes.
What's your badness level?
Naughty.
Sing me a song. Oh my goodness, he's so funny. He has a whole list of commands that you can give him and he responds. And if he's in naughty mode, he responds with more, you know, badness level than if he is in his nice mode. So glad everyone can hear me and we're all doing good. We're doing the vertical live because all YouTube seems to like it better when we do vertical lives. I don't know. They've been testing out so many new features. It's really fun. Nicole says, driving to work, so I can't really be responsive for the next 30 minutes. Yes, please don't worry about being responsive or commenting while you're driving. We're just gonna vibe on down to island time and let people get settled in. Happy Gemini season to everyone. If there's any Geminis out there, very happy birthday to you and to you, since you have two sides, to both your sides, to your alter ego and yourself, and yourself and your naughty evil twin like Stitch, right? We love our Geminis because you know what? They keep the party going, all right? They start it up and they keep it going. So absolutely. I had a dear friend of mine, may she rest in peace, Lisa, and she was a Gemini, and there were just times where she was in, we'll call her the naughty mode, and so she really liked Olivia Newton-John. So my name for her alter ego was Olivia. So anytime she got in like Olivia style naughty mode, I'd be like, right, Olivia, you know, make sure she knew. That she was in her naughty mode versus her lovely Lisa mode. But what a gem of a person she was. I miss her terribly. And she was gone from us too soon. Aaron is listening while driving. Okay, good, 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 good. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead. Since I have some people here, I had a contest. I don't know if y'all knew. I had a contest with this last series of tarot videos that I did. It's called the Up Leveling series. And the Up Leveling series was all about how you might take some intuition, some recommendations, maybe even confirmations into your heart and work with the energy of the ways that you can up level your life in different areas. So we did relationships, career, financial abundance. We did the spiritual gifts, like your spiritual gifts and abilities. We did up leveling in your self esteem and confidence. We did the healing journey, and we did divine timing. So, how do you up level divine timing? It was very interesting to see what the card said there, because so much of the universe has to meet us when we put our actions out there. And so it's just very interesting how we get in these places of holding on to control, right? And it's hard to up level when you're holding on to things with such a tight grasp. They have to be released so that your destiny and your purpose and your abundance can meet you. You can become that lighthouse. And so it was a really fun and different series that I worked on, and I enjoyed it. Most of the readings are around about 20 minutes long. And so if you haven't had a chance to go over those readings, be sure to take a time. They're on what's called the Timeless Tarot playlist on my channel, and you can listen to them anytime. You can go back and listen to them if there was something important in one of them. But I know that some of you are really making the most of the readings that you're hearing, because I can tell. And so my contest was, if you are watching these readings, drop a thoughtful comment, not just, emojis. Those are great. And I love the love. Don't get me wrong. I still want people to say hi, TY, heart, 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 all of that stuff, because I know people are busy. But to get in the contest, I wanted a thoughtful comment for each of the videos. And so you get an entry if you put a thoughtful comment in. And I know Karen's here. She participated so much in that, and I could tell with her responses, and there were a couple other people who also participated, that really put thought into it, put thought on how it applies to their life. And that's what you want to do with general readings, with timeless readings, right? You want to pick out the things that really resonate with you and work with those. You don't have to make something fit that doesn't fit. You can leave out the extra that doesn't really resonate with you, but what is something you can take away? And I could tell from the very thoughtful comments that there were some things that were really being processed, were really being worked with. And that's the whole point. And that's the whole point of being a creator, is being in these energies of moving forward when you can control things, and when you're inspired, you're creatively inspired. And then also knowing when to pause and let the universe bring some things to you and meet you. And so that is quite a balance to strike when we're working on growing and evolving. And I was just really pleased with the comments and everything. So I want to thank everyone for participating. I have my heart-centered singing bowl here, and it's got all the entries in there. So we're going to shake it up, and let me get a timestamp before I drop this on my head. All right. Righty. We're going to shake this up real good. The magic swirl here. And I'm going to pull a name out, and I just want you to know, if you did participate but you don't win this time, come again, because guess whose 50th birthday is coming up, y'all? This girl right here. This girl right here. So we might have to do another celebration and another giveaway. So if you don't win this time, it's okay. Our winner is at Yourself Evolved. Yourself Evolved. I will be in touch with you. Congratulations on winning, and thank you everyone for your comments. All right. And, also keep an eye on my Instagram stories. I do run specials from time to time. We're coming up on the summer solstice here in not too long. Can you believe it? So there might be a little something there. And I've got something else brewing in the background for a really cool membership community. So that, keep your eyes on it, get involved. Make sure you're following me at Creators on the Crest on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And TikTok, I put all the shorts on there. So if you just want those little boosts from time to time, you know, TikTok's like one of these fast moving things. So, you know, really you want to be here on YouTube, but you can find me on those other places and you can find the specials listed. So we're going to do another one. And I just want to thank everybody who participated and put the comments in, and congratulations, you're self-evolved. I just think everybody that went into that magic bowl really deserved a reading. So, you know, it's hard because it's like there's so many good comments and so many good creators out there that deserve it. All right, so today I'm not going to do any astrology. We're going to go right into a collective reading. And this is Aloha inspired. So I have on my Aloha clothes. I have my little plumeria. It's not real. I wish it was, because in Hawaii, there's so many plumeria trees and they're so fragrant and so beautiful. And they drop these leaves these flowers, these blossoms, and you can just go and pick one up off the ground, like, you know, that has freshly fallen, and put it right in your hair. You do want to make sure with plumeria, though, that it does have kind of a milky substance that will come out of it, and you don't want to get that in your eyes. I mean, isn't that wild? Like, it's so beautiful and so amazing, but that milky substance that comes off, and I think this goes for anything. Don't touch wild plants and things and pick flowers and get green and milky things on your hands and then put it in your eyes or rub your nose. You know, wash your hand. So be cautious about that, because there is, like, they do warn you about that when you go to Hawaii if you're going to put a plumeria in your hair. So I'll give that caution out there for those of you who might end up in Hawaii. And I do plan to end up there again. I love the region. I love the area. And with watching Lilo and Stitch with my kids yesterday, I was like, I have to do the theme. I have to do the Aloha, the Ohana, the Mahalo, and each of the words. You know, when we go back to the root languages and the indigenous languages, there is so much meaning to the words. The words actually carry like spirit with them, and they have a certain vibe. So we're going to go through that, and we're going to do our breakout readings based on that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll explain that in a little while, but let's do our collective oracle reading here, and we will find out what the universe wants us to know and what we should keep in mind. Now we've got the, of course, what's this called? Whispers of Aloha Oracle. And we're going to start with this deck. We're going to clear it out a little bit, and we're going to get some messages. All right, so who's been to Hawaii here or has plans to maybe try to go someday? If you have, drop in what island you've been to. I have been fortunate enough to take trips to 2 different islands in the past, and we're talking about over the course of like 20 years, right? It's like, it's not the easiest place to get to. It's not part of the continental United States, so driving is out of the question, and you've got to go on the 7 to 8 hour flight usually, or longer, depending where you're coming from in the States or Europe, and some of those trips can be really long for people. But once you get in the vibe of those islands, it's amazing. I've been to Oahu, which is where Honolulu is, Pearl Harbor and all of that is there. And that was, you know, it was so fun, but it's like a little more touristy. I actually have a good friend, hi Tracy, if she's out there, that lives on that island, and maybe I'll be able to go visit her. And of course, like, the shaved ice is amazing too there, and it's just the shopping and everything, the parasailing, the beach, the dolphins, the everything is amazing. But then this last year I got to go to Kauai, which is a more remote, more, I would say, wilderness protected kind of island. They have preserved more of the island, and it was incredible. They have wild, like, or just chickens, wild chickens. Just, they have wild boar there. There's no snakes. That's a plus. If you're not a snake person, there's no snakes. They have the boars and they have the chickens. And really, you know, there's bugs, there's birds, beautiful birds, but yeah. And of course, it's just so nice. It's less touched, you know. And so if you get the opportunity to get to Kauai, I do recommend it. I mean, when you get there, you know, it's just a different vibe. It's like time, you step outside of the time you've been dealing with and the energies you've been dealing with, and you really, really get a break. Karen says she went to Maui and then to a spa day on the main island. Ooh, nice. I was wondering, on the main island, I think, oh, Nicole, I'm already reading Nicole's thing. But on the main island, the volcano is there. Did you get to see that? Nicole says rather a snake than a wild pig. Yes. So I think you really have to kind of get out in the zones where there's a lot of wilderness hiking or jungle hiking, whatever you want to call it. But I did not see any wild pigs there. I didn't see any. But, you know, I had pulled pork and it was delicious. My goodness. Sorry, piggies, but it was good. It was so good. Karen said, I went to the volcano on Maui and biked back. Ooh, nice. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's just so nice. You know, on the islands, it rains a lot, but that's what creates all the beautiful lushness there. So some of the trails can get really muddy. You have to be careful. I mean, you do have to have your wits about you. You have to have your wits about you when you're in Hawaii. You do have to pay attention to what's going on, but there's also just so many nice places to relax, and they play the music, and it just kind of takes all of the stress away. It's just a beautiful place. So yeah, so it wasn't active. Yeah, it was similar to on Oahu. We hiked up to the rim of not even dormant, I think extinct volcano, but I'm not remembering because my trip to Oahu was quite some time ago. It was like before I had kids, before I had pregnancy brain and mom brain and all that. So it's like further in the past, but I did get to go skydiving there, and that was quite exciting. Oh my goodness, getting to go skydiving for the first time ever, and the only time that I've ever been skydiving, and getting to do that in Hawaii while they were having a surf competition was absolutely freaking incredible. All right. I have marked a timestamp for this reading, and I shuffled the whole time and have been talking. So, but yeah, I love when you guys comment. Keep commenting as you have thoughts. So the first message that we got from the Whispers of Aloha is in number 34, and it says, Forgotten Treasure, restore your power and your vulnerability. And wow, this really reminds me of the mirror image effect that we had in the Up Level series on self-worth and confidence. The card I pulled at the end was Beauty, and it was from a different deck, but it had a mirror image much like this, except it was a more natural scene of a mountain. But in this, we see that we have the individual here being represented in feminine energy. And number 34, 3 plus 4 is 7. So note down the numbers in your mind. Some of you do have quite the experience with like repeating numbers and things like that. But we have this beautiful mirror image. This really, really takes me to the alchemical law, as within, as without, as above, so below, right? And it's that kind of energy. And I think, Karen, one of your comments was even very closely related to that theme, right? Where you were really working on the inside out. And so sometimes, you know, in the busyness of life and when things get a little crazy, we have to like slow ourselves down, and we have to relax ourselves, and we have to just scan and see if there's something inside that might like to have a little bit of reflection time, right? It's not that we have to stop completely, but those moments of pause where we kind of scan our energy and say, okay, this is something I'm working on. I'm digging this up from the inside out. And this forgotten treasure would indicate to me that something needs restoration here. And I know, like, Karen, you get to travel right now, so hopefully some of the restoration you're looking for is is really coming through there for you in the change of sceneries. I know my partner and I are getting ready to take a trip, and it's been, for me, I was so fortunate to be able to travel a few times last year. But my partner is in dire need of a change of scenery, and we're so excited. My friends, a couple of my friends, my dear friends, and I are going to meet up, and my partner's coming with me, and so he's so excited to get that time, because it's in those times where you can like check out. You can just check out of the busyness and the hustle and bustle, and you get a different environment, and you get to know different angles of yourself as you navigate that new environment. So I'm really liking this card for us, this forgotten treasure. Beautiful, encouraging us to focus on what maybe something we're missing on the inside, maybe listening to that inner voice a little more powerfully, a little more potently, a little more presently. Because one of the things we'll talk about today is the Aloha energy, which does talk about presence. Okay, and so that's a really important energy to consider. We're going to go with the Sea Soul Journeys Oracle next, kind of keeping with the ocean theme. Not all the cards will be ocean inspired, but they might be. Somehow we might pull watery cards out of all the decks. And Stitch wants to say hi again. Aloha. He's just like sitting here staring at me. Such a cute toy. All right, here we go. So we have forgotten treasure, restore your power and vulnerability, come into that Aloha energy, be really present with yourself. And we got love. And here it says, may you dive deep into your passions, into your soul spark. And look at this beautiful image. It's as if we're floating right above the water and watching the sunset over the water. And I think I'm going to say that this card is reminding me to tell you, before you go to bed at night, set an intention. Set an intention for your dream time. Set an intention for yourself, and allow it to come to you. Come to your subconscious. Come into your subconscious energies, because that is where it can get anchored in and rooted in. And we want, we're so busy constantly navigating the healing connected to our subconscious and unconscious, the deep wounding. We're constantly working on digging that up. But what if we anchor the vibration of love into the subconscious? That can only help us. And the best time to do this is before you go to sleep, or even before you take a nap, and just to really set your intention that you will be connected to your passions, and that the path before you that has your passions, your purpose, the mission that you came here to serve will unfold for you. And you can set that intention before bed and plant that seed of love in that subconscious, and that's going to help you. It's going to help you have that there to connect with all the time. It's running. The subconscious is the themes that are running underneath. So why not pour a little love into the subconscious? Why not do that? You've done enough. Believe me, I know y'all are interacting with me. You've been through so much, and you're constantly doing so much to heal those subconscious, unconscious layers where all the wounding hides. It's time to get a dose of love in there. So go ahead and inject that love into your subconscious. Set that intention for love to just be the pervasive energy in your subconscious, and let that be your intention. Let that be your intention as you are aiming for living a life that serves your passions. Because what we're going for here, if we're being really real, none of us want to work in a way that feels exhausting, okay? None of us want to be doing things that don't call to our soul. But we live in a world, and we live in a construct where we get a bit forced into those energies in order to make a living, to feel safe and secure, to have a shelter, to have food, to have clean water, etc., etc., etc. And I think a lot of people are waking up to just how, excuse me, whew, a lot of energy coming up, to just how backwards things are. And to reclaim your birthright, your passions, and make those a priority, it's nothing anybody else is going to do. It's something you've got to do for you and for your soul. And so keep that in mind. What we're doing here as creators is we're beginning to shift the world into the kind of world that we want to live in, not the kind of world that's been on offer, because that is not a world that is honoring our freedoms. It's not a world that is honoring our gifts, talents, and abilities. And frankly, it's causing a lot more stress on the human spirit. And it's kind of keeping people down, right? So we're going to counter that energy, and we're going to take the steps to counter it. If you haven't said hi already, I see some people watching. I know some people are driving. Do not comment if you're driving. Kimberly is here. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? Welcome, welcome. I need to get in touch with you, Kimberly, because I think we're going to start doing some moderation in the chat. So I know you and I talked about that. Nicole and I talked about that as well. I'll get with both of you because I want to make sure I have your right, the handles that you want to be using for that. But moderation, and for those of you regulars here, moderation just helps me keep an eye on the chat as things get busier and busier, and gives you the power to remove like trolling comments and things like that. And so, I'm looking for a couple people to do that. It's not going to require you, like you have to be at all my lives, but when you show up, you'll show up, and as a moderator, you get a little wrench or something. It'll show like a little indicator there. You can just help when you're able to help. So if anybody's interested in that, that is here quite frequently, let me know. And we'll probably do a little exchange, like a little something something for you guys too. So for any help you give me, believe me, I'll scratch your back as well. So we'll get that done. Okay, so our next card, it comes from the Elemental Oracle, and we got Transformation. Look at this card, Transformation and Pressure. Who is feeling that? Transformation and pressure. This is the intensity that comes as we're moving through a portal to a new cycle, as we're moving through into new energies and releasing the old. This is the energy of that happens before we have a breakthrough. And I know some of you are craving a breakthrough. You just need to feel a little bit of relief here. And that is tricky when we're going through deep transformations. This card is the number 26. 2 plus 6 is 8, and we like that number because it's an abundant number, but when it comes to pressure, an abundant amount of pressure you might be feeling, that's a little tricky. I want to acknowledge that though. I do want to acknowledge that some of you are feeling more pressure in your life in ways that you've never felt. So when we look at the energies of the cards, this isn't like everything's sunshine and rainbows all the time. This is hard work, and we're talking about digging deep within ourselves to make different things happen, to literally create a different world here. We're literally in a huge transition collectively with the human race, and to be able to do our small part when we're in these energies, it really isn't that small. It's really a big deal. That's why we feel it so intensely, because it is so important. And so if you are feeling the pressure, if you're feeling like, I'm thinking about, the pressure cookers that build up with steam, it's like there's movement. It's like the feeling of I need to cry, but the tears won't come out, or they're right there, but I need to have the release, but it's not quite there yet. That you're feeling all of these molecules, all of this frequency, all of this energy, and that abundance is in there somewhere. That peace is in there somewhere, right? That your purpose and the path to your purpose is in there, and the signpost along the way that will get you there. And that's what I'm getting from this card. But let's acknowledge that Man, yeah, under pressure. Dun, 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 dun. Is that what you're thinking of? Under pressure is in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. I never was in choir. Okay, in high school, I was in choir. I was in the swing choir, and it was a lot of fun. But I'm not constantly practicing my music. I was an alto. Any of you singers out there? Any of you sing soprano, alto, tenor, baritone, basses out there? There's nothing like a good harmony, right? Put them all together. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was always one of those people. I was a little shy to sing just by myself, but singing in like a quartet or a group, really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed like that swing choir feel. So here's to swing choir, y'all. And oh, may he rest in peace. My music teacher passed away earlier this year, and his name was Papa Grace. Literally, his last name was Grace. Oh my goodness. And you couldn't, when we were on, like when the choir was on, like I almost want to cry because he would stop. He would stop after we sang whatever we were singing. And there was this look on his face, and you just knew when we nailed it because he was so touched. He would stop and just take it in. And there was like a moment of silence. Oh my gosh, love that man so much. He talk about an inspiration to so many. He was such a good teacher, and I am so grateful for him. My dad's birthday was 3 days ago. My dad has passed, and so it's a sensitive time for me. And the kids and I sang him happy birthday, and I did a little post for him on Facebook with a picture of him when I feel like he was in a happy place, because the end didn't look so happy. But the majority of his life, it was happy. And oh my goodness, we just pulled out horse energy. Who's a horse person here? Who loves horses? Here we have the beautiful horse energy. And I just feel like after a card like transformation and pressure, Super OFAC said 8. So you notice the number 8. Yes, the number of abundance. We get the horse. And I'm really encouraged by this because horses are so intuitive. They are so, so intuitive. And they are natural healers as well. They're natural healers for humans. They are actually utilizing horses in equine therapy in a lot of different ways, but in particular, there's a certain tendon on the horse's leg or something where if you're coming to the horse and you're bringing a wound or a trauma or you're blocked in some way, it's the pressure that you're feeling that it's not coming out. The horse will only lift the leg if you press like this certain spot if you've released that. So in that way, they're helping people. And so some people walk up to the horse, they touch it, and it lifts its leg and it does its thing, right? And then other times people do that and there's something stuck inside, and the horse has this magical way of just knowing when a person is carrying that kind of energy. And it can really be helpful to people because then, you have to face your mind of everyone else was successful at getting the horse to lift their leg, but I couldn't do it. What's wrong? And then you have to figure out what's going on with you and be release. And 9 times out of 10, from what I've seen, you go back after you have your release, after you talk it out, after you process what you're holding on to, the horse will then recognize that you've shifted the energy and lift its legs. So really, really interesting things, really, really interesting energies we have here, because we are being asked to dig deep with what I see here. We are being asked to look in the mirror from what I see here. This is not beginner level. Any of you that are listening, I feel like some of you need to hear this. Those of you that are listening right now, there's nothing wrong with being a beginner. All the masters revisit the basics, okay? That being a beginner in certain things is fine. But when it comes to the soul level work, the vibe that I'm feeling right now with the people who are listening, whether you're live here or on the replay, you are not a beginner. This is not your first time here in this wheelhouse. Let's just put it in this energetic wheelhouse. All right. And so, what you're faced with, we're talking about having to master these energies. That's what you all are being faced with right now. You're not in like, oh, I just woke up and had a spiritual awakening, and I quit my job and did this and that and the other, right? And I just kind of, now I'm like living on a permaculture farm. Okay, that happens, and that's great for for that. But you're not there. You've already been there. And if you haven't been there, this is what some of you need to understand. You're like, well, I haven't been there in this life, but I have all these realizations. That's because in another lifetime, in another dimension, your energies already went through that beginning experience. And so some of you here need to acknowledge that within yourself. I feel that you are in mastery phases of these transformative energies. All right. And giving yourself credit for that, right? Yes, we need to temper our ego. We need to revisit the basics from time to time. We need to allow ourselves to be in cycles of growth. We need to allow ourselves to explore new things. Absolutely. I love beginning energy. But from a soul level perspective, that's just what I'm feeling about this group of people that are listening. Ashley's here. Hello, Ashley. Aloha. We are doing the Hawaii vibe. And I have felt like every time Ashley comes around, I get the Hawaii vibe, and I have the Hawaii vibe too. So it's like a little radar. And we're going to get Ashley to Hawaii, okay, everybody? So everybody gives Ashley some good mojo. I know it's on her bucket list. I know it's important to her. I am just seeing you there, Ashley. I'm seeing you there in the island somewhere, and I know that's going to unfold for you. So welcome, aloha, and I really hope that these readings today inspire you even more. All right, so we are still doing our collective reading. We're going to go into the feminine and the masculine energies. Now, I pulled the feminine first here. It's just that Hawaii vibe. The islands have this womb-like feel, like the feminine energies. And so I am going to pull the feminine. What would the feminine like the collective to know right now? So here we are. We're in these mastery phases of dealing with transformation, null energy here. We're evolving. What do we need to know? We got chasing energy. Now in this deck, the way this card is portrayed, it kind of shows the woman running after the man, and he's like, running away. And it kind of has like that twin flame vibe of chaser kind of thing, runner chaser. However, you might not be chasing a person here. You might be chasing your passions. You might be chasing your dreams. And so what it is, chasing energy, it's not feminine, okay? It's not feminine. And so when the feminine tries to chase into something or push into something, this doesn't mean don't take action, okay? Let's not get it confused. You still need to take action toward things. But when you get into the energy of it starts to grind, or it feels painful, or you get overwhelmed, okay? And it starts to consume you. It starts to consume you and stress you out, and you find yourself like just in this energy of trying to control. That's what this chasing energy is. So if we take it out of the context of the whole like twin flame and chasing after a person, now some of you might have experienced this. I know I sure have in the past. Chasing, a person because I thought that's what was going to evolve my life, and it's not to say that you're bad for wanting a relationship or wanting companionship, right? But the feminine has forgotten in some ways to allow herself to receive, to allow the masculine to come toward her. And when it comes to these energies today, when we think about forgotten treasure and restoring our power, on the feminine vibe, we've got to relax this chasing energy. We've got to stop. And maybe in stopping and pausing, we do turn side to side. We do look around. Maybe we look behind us a little bit. We can move again, but let's stop the chasing energies, because for the feminine, that leads to a consuming kind of energy that will just get you all wrapped up and all stressed out like a just a ball of knots. All right. Whew. Let's get a card from the Journey to the Divine Masculine here. You guys might hear Blaze in the background because I think Mimi's coming to check on us. All right, the masculine. The masculine would like to remind us of the energy of awakening. It is a change in behavior. All right, so this is where the masculine energies come in. The energies of action, it's changing our behavior. I didn't talk a lot about astrology today, but it would definitely behoove you to consider how you are changing here, okay? Slowing down. Now this has a slow down energy too, to reflect. Slowing down to reflect, as within, as without. All right? Deepening the emotional well-being. Shift in priorities and values, and in a transformation in the inner world. And look at this amazing image. Any men listening, check this out. Look at these open arms. Look at this beautiful sun. I almost feel like, now he's on a cliff, but I'm getting kind of like a surf energy as well. Blaze is barking in the background. Thank you, Jason. I already made Jason a moderator. Thank you, honey. Yeah, because we're not about trolls here. We need to save the energy for the people who are doing the work here. So I appreciate you helping out with the comment there. All right. Masculine energy is teaching us awakening. So we want those changes in our behavior to be aligned with the actions we need to take. So the feminine is showing a pause and relaxing energy. Let's come out of the chasing. The masculine is also saying a change and a slowdown, but in the masculine energies. So I think that's the beauty of Hawaii and Hawaiian energies, however, is that it can be an energy that helps you pause to reflect. And these messages seem to be coming up. The horse energy. I'm going to pause you right there. You know, the horse says to you, I'm feeling your wound there. I'm intuitive. I feel your wounding. I feel where you need to heal. I want you to at least acknowledge it. And then I will show you how that frees your energy up, the beautiful horse energy. All right. So, and then, you know, I'm just going to round back to the message about love and intentioning and embedding a bit of that love energy into your subconscious before you go to bed. May you dive deep into your passions. So think about the things you're passionate about. You don't have to know in the conscious mind how it's all going to fit together, how it's all going to work out, what the timing is. Make it happen now, you know. And I know, you know, being a YouTuber, those of us that are YouTubers, it's like, when's the video, you know, what's the algorithm going to do with the video, right? All of that mental energy, that is not what this is about. This is about the energy of stepping back and pausing. It's actually doing what you need to do, doing your passion project, putting it out there, and then letting the universe come and pick it up and take it a little bit, okay? Yeah, because we don't want to overstep how that meets us, because then we won't be in the right position for that. Let's talk about these breakout readings, y'all. We're going to do 3 breakout readings today. I'm getting a timestamp for that. Let me know you're here still. Hi, Pratik. Hello. How are you? Welcome. And let me know if you're still here, and let me describe these breakout readings. So first, we're going to do the breakout reading of Aloha. Now, aloha is a greeting that is much like hello, right? In a language, in the original language, right? The Hawaiian island language, right? And so it has a vibe to it. It's got the hello, but it's got a little bit more too. It is a receiving energy. So again, we have kind of that feminine receiving energy. We have aloha is about being welcomed in, but being welcomed in presence, in your full presence, okay? And that's what we're going to be looking into. We're going to do a card reading for that. Nicole's still here. Hello. Pratik, Pratik, you should know that I do personal readings on Sunday, every other Sunday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. Central here on the channel. I have a live Q&A. That's where you can come and ask a personal question if you'd like. So I'd like to see you back on this Sunday night, June 1st. I will have 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, American time. I will have a live hour of Q&A. I always recommend coming in early and dropping your question because we get a little busy, but I'd be happy to answer that for you. And think about Pratik too. The question, when will I get a job? When we're looking into those future energies and those potential energies, it's a little bit of a toss up because you might take a different step or a different path, or something might happen. So I want you to think about how you feel around not having a job. What stress and is anxiety, and what we want to try to do is relieve anything that's making you feel stressed around that, okay? So you might want to ask, how can I best navigate the stress I feel from not yet finding a job, right? So let's reframe some of our questions here. We're going deeper on this channel. So I just want to give some people some ideas about things. And I will say the Q&A community, some of you are here, you guys ask amazing questions. You really think about the questions, and they're more than just a yes, no, or can I have a date, for this, because when you understand how energy works, it's about shifting you. Oops, I had a call come in. Sorry, I silenced that real quick. Okay, so yes, Pratik. And, of course, I'm wishing you the highest and best outcome for what you're dealing with as well. Okay, so we got the Aloha. We're going to do the reading on Aloha, the presence, the welcoming, the receiving. We have the Ohana energy, and the Ohana is family. The Ohana is soul tribe, family, friends, okay, the people that are closest around you. I know the astrology is kind of moving into some of that this year. So we're going to do a reading on that, on the Ohana. Ohana means family, right? Mahalo will be our last one. Mahalo is a gratitude. It's a thanks. It can definitely be an offering. Like, I'm thinking when you go out in nature, it's just such a nice little ritual to make an offering to nature, to take something natural, whether it be some herbs or, maybe some sage, or, you can use different things depending on your culture and your background, but making an offering to nature, right? And having that connection and that gratitude and that appreciation. When I went to the Hawaiian Islands, I took a few items to gift to the islands that, I did not bring back with me. It was a gift to the islands, some natural. And, you have to be you can't just take whatever there, okay? You have to sign a thing. You can't take certain like fruits and vegetables. They have regulations, but there are some things you could do, a drop of essential oil somewhere, something like that, right? So you can do a lot of things to make an offering, right? And Mother Earth knows what to do with all that. So wherever you visit that you feel connected to nature, when you make your offerings, and sometimes your offerings include releasing something. When we work with Mother Earth, and I don't know why this is coming up, it has to do with this somehow, Mahalo. When we work with Mother Earth in this way, she knows what to do with it. She knows what to do with it. So you know how sometimes you get in a state, and a lot of you do this, you apologize for the state of being that you're in, or your emotional state, and you feel like the energies that you're carrying are so heavy, and you have a good friend, you have an intuitive friend, you have an empathic friend, somebody that you talk to, that you lay your burdens down in front of, not for them to do anything with them, but you're just processing, and that's part of your process. A lot of you feel guilty for doing that. Or I find that a lot of you, myself included, end up apologizing for that a lot. Nicole knows. Nicole knows I apologize way too much. And kind of have felt bad for focusing on myself, or for maybe bringing something heavy to my friends, right? At times. And I know some of you do that as well. Some of you have done it with me. And I'm like, no, I'm here. I'm holding space for you. I'm not picking up what you got going on because it's yours, but I am here with you and I'm holding the space with you. And that's what that soul tribe is at Ohana. That's what that family is. And what I want to say about Mother Earth is, before I get too far off on a tangent, is you can give things to her without fear of feeling like it's too much of a burden, because the earth herself is one of the biggest transformers we could possibly ask for. She's a living being. And when you pour the energy into her, now we need people, we need tribe. Okay, I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying you can also give her your tears. You can give her the weight of your pain and the rituals that you do and the connection that you have with Mother Earth, the sacred connection. You wouldn't be here if you didn't have a sacred connection with the planet. Part of the problem, what we got going on right now, is everything's stuck in the ether, pinballing all of these, this trauma that's come up that, and a lot of people don't know what to do with it, the mental health crisis, all of this, and it's all ping-ponging around up here in all of the energies that are around us all the time. It needs to be ground into the earth. The only thing you can do is your part, right? As a creator, is that you're going to take the energies you're working with and ground those. You're going to literally offer them to the planet, because what? She knows how to transform them. She knows how to transform those energies, and we're meant to be in a sacred union with her and having that communication. So that's why some of you are earth signs yourself. And you may have some unique things in your astrology. And I'm not saying if you're not an earth sign, like your soul spark isn't an earth sign, you can't do this. Each element has its gifts, but our earth signs are a little more, they have the propensity to be connected to that Mother Earth energy a bit more. And so it may be a little more natural for you to do that. But you need both. You need friends who can hold the space with boundaries, with healthy boundaries, without letting those lines be crossed, without taking on your burden and you not taking on theirs, but just holding the space. Kimberly says, I feel shame and guilt when I fall short for not showing up how I wish I could for my friends. And here's how I would respond to that. Shame and guilt are such heavy energies. They're such heavy energies. A true friend would not wish you to carry or to put extra pressure or heaviness onto yourself for that. I think there's many seasons to life, and there's seasons where a friend has the time and energy to show up, and there's seasons where a friend does not have the time and energy to show up. And a true friend would understand these seasons, right? And so that's why, Kimberly, you now have people in your life, or you may be attracting more people in who are going to let it be okay for you to feel that way, but also to let you know you're no burden. You're no burden. In fact, your growth and witnessing your process and the time you need to take and the space you need to take for that is a gift to your friends as well. I mean, my friends that I have now in my inner circle are so skilled at doing the deep work that it is so inspiring to me to witness their process, to witness their failures, to witness their setbacks. I don't wish it for them, but life is life, and we came here to evolve, and we're going through that heavy pressure transformation like I got in the collective reading, right? And so there's times I'm in those energies, right? And it's understandable, and it's also inspirational, because you're going to see that person come through that somehow. They're going to come through it one way or another. And with good friends, with good Ohana, with the energy of presence, of Aloha and Mahalo, giving thanks and having gratitude. So if Kimberly, you can find the way to say, okay, I feel the heaviness of shame and guilt. Maybe I'll let the universe meet me with a little bit of gratitude to say, how lucky am I that I have a friend that would reach out to me and ask for my opinion or my intuitive insights, or just to be a sounding board and a listening ear. And you can have this in your relationships too. You can have this in your partnerships as well, right? And that's what we're moving into. We're up leveling our relationships. Creators are. We're constantly working on that. And so to be able to hear and hold space for the other person is truly a gift to both people, right? So I think in our world, we do a lot of comparing all the time, like, oh, you listen to me cry for 2 hours about this, so I need to give you 2 hours of time. We got to get over that kind of thing. We just have to be present in the energies, okay? We have to be present in the energies. Nicole's got another song in her head. Nicole's coming in with the melodies today. That's what friends are for. Keep shining, keep smiling, knowing you can always count on me, or whatever. There's my little ditty for the day, right? Not ditty, but you know what I mean, like little song excerpt. You're welcome, Kimberly. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It's by you commenting what honestly is going on for you that really matters, that really brings the depth to these lives, that brings the depth and presence into it. So you're bringing the aloha, you're bringing the ohana, and you're all bringing the mahalo. And we're going to get into these. So why don't we? Let's get into them. All right, let me get a timestamp here for aloha. Can't even ditty. Can't even say. I know you can't even say ditty. Ugh. You're like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to think about that. I'm in aloha energies here. That's no, thank you. Might be time for a sip of water. Okay. All right. We're going to start with this lovely Crystal Visions Tarot for our Aloha reading. So aloha, aloha, oi, aloha, oi. Stitch sings that song. I'll probably do it before the end, or maybe before the end of this reading. We'll try to get him to sing the nice version of that. He'll either burp it when he's naughty, or he'll sing the nice version of that. Yes, and and so aloha energy, presence, welcome, and receiving. Prakeet, is that the same Prakeet as before? Oh no, Pratik and Prakeet. My goodness. I hope I got your names right. Yes, I do live readings. Thank you, Kimberly, for answering that question. Whew, aloha energies. Y'all, we're looking pretty good in these aloha energies here to start. And we have some minor things going on, some little catchy spots, okay? Overall, when it comes to aloha, I want to say what it's looking like for being present, the way that you're able to be present, and y'all, can I get some hearts or something for how challenging it is to be present in this world sometimes with all the distractions and everything going on, right? The energy of aloha, where you're welcoming, you're receiving, and you're very present in that energy, can be elusive at times. But look what we got to remind us that we can do it. We got the high priestess. The high priestess is the one who welcomes that individual who has gone through the phase of being the fool, of taking the leap, breaking through, gone through the energies of the magician. So the magician finds themselves in this 3D reality where we're at, right? And they're like, whoa, there's all these experiences, all these elements. And the high priestess stands in front of the gate to the Garden of Eden where the Empress resides and says, you know, you shall or you shall not pass. Okay, like Gandalf and the Balrog, right? You shall pass or you shall not pass, right? So when we get the high priestess energy, when we're talking about aloha, this gives me a warming sensation that you will be welcomed here by the high priestess, that you are welcome into these energies. The approach can't be pushy. It can't be that chase energy. It can't be that forceful energy. Because remember, we got horse earlier and we got that chasing energy from the divine feminine in the collective oracle reading. So we're really being pulled into, we are going to gracefully approach the high priestess with exactly how we are, right? And we are going to welcome her and we are going to let her inform us as to if we're ready to pass through the gate, okay? And the beautiful thing about this particular representation of her is the butterflies, transformation, butterflies representing transformation. This is a number 2 card, and it really is about you aligning any duality with yourself. Normally, she is not connected to Libra energies, but for some reason, I am picking up a Libra feeling kind of energy with this high priestess of coming into a balance within. And that would be a balance of your light and shadow. You're acknowledging the wisdom of your light side. You're acknowledging the wisdom of your shadow side, and you're coming into the balanced energies here to meet her and maybe have a little conversation. She can be a really great archetype to pull into your conversations with yourself. So if you really want to have a more in-depth conversation, she can be good during, like, if you're doing, like, where you're having conversation in the mirror. I'm seeing myself as I'm talking to you all, you know, so maybe you're a vlogger. Hello, hint, hint, Nicole. Bloggers, vloggers, right? You're seeing yourself. She is a great archetype for that. Those of you who want to see yourself and where you're at and have like a wisdom check, that's what she's all about. And she'll let you know. She'll let you know if you're ready to move to the next phase or not. Now, the other important thing, and this feels really good in the aloha energy as well, it's very welcoming, it's very loving, it's very nurturing. We got the Queen of Cups, another feminine energy here, welcoming us in, being present. She's sitting and waiting for us here. It's almost as if we walk up to her and she's greeting us, and she's in this beautiful lagoon with the lotus flowers floating there around her feet. And what's really beautiful is both the high priestess and the queen, they have these scepters with like a little crystal ball on top. So that might be of significance for some of you. And the high priestess, on her scepter has the Ankh, cycles of life, the balance of the masculine and feminine. And now what's interesting that I'm getting here with this Queen of Cups is a Neptune energy, like a little trident on the end of hers. But it's not like, you know, Neptune's big trident. This is going to like blast everybody. It's a very subtle feminine trident. And we do have some Neptune energy, so the astrology is sneaking in. So you might want to check out what's going on. I'm not going into astrology today, but there are some Neptunian energies. You all know I like Molly McCord. She's one of my faves for astrology. There's lots of good astrologers out there. Pam Gregory. They're just find the style you like. And it's all okay. All right. Don't worry about it too much, because astrology can overwhelm you if you let it, right? All right, so here's where we need to do a little bit of the work. So we've got the high priestess, we've got the Queen of Cups, beautiful together. That is so, these two archetypes together, that's aloha energy. There's like, let me put the lei around your neck and let just settle into the vibes of Hawaii here. And, you know, but wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, you've taken something with you, right? And we got the Eight of Swords. Ooh, ooh. Now, this is a minor arcana energy, so it's okay. This is an energy of feeling trapped within one's own energies. All right. So this could be self-sabotage for some. This could be overwhelm for others, right? You know, when we sabotage, I want to say something about self-sabotage because some people get real defensive about, I'm not sabotaging myself. Everything else outside of me is what's happening, and they get real defensive. You know, it can be one of those energies where if somebody sees it in you, like you're like, no, I'm not self-sabotaging. You know, why would I do that? And, you know, that's a little indication of like our response. We have to come out of this monkey mind and we have to say, now, wait a minute. Maybe I'm working against myself. Maybe I'm not actively sabotaging myself, but am I getting in my own way a little bit? Is there something, she's blindfolded here, but remember, she also, her hands are free. She can unwind from this energy anytime she wants. Her hands are free. But being blindfolded, is there something you're unwilling to look at within yourself there? It's a tricky one because it can really poke at the ego, all right? And it gives us that sense. And so all of a sudden in this aloha energy and we're welcoming, we're like, ooh, shit, I bumped into something. Ooh, I landed on the island and I'm exhausted and I want to go to the ocean, but man, I think I need to take a nap first. And ooh, something's feeling heavy here. That's this energy, right? Wherever you go, there you are. And when you're in the right ecosystem and the time is ripe for you to deal with these energies, up and out, it will come. And if you're standing in your own way, you're going to feel it. All right. You're going to feel it with that Eight of Swords. And that's what's being acknowledged here. So Nicole says, put the like. Thank you. Yes, please remember to hit that like button because I know we've had more people come and go. I'd like to see, you know, it helps in the algos. Some of you know in your chat box there, you can type messages, but over on the side, there's like a little happy face and you can drop like little emojis if you click on, well, you can put emojis in the chat, but then also there's a little heart bubble thing and you can drop little party 100 smileys, emojis there. And that can be a fun way to let me know you're present listening as well. Yep, Nicole's in with another song, Sabotage from the Beastie Boys. Ooh, I'm not going to try to sing that one because it'll probably hurt my voice. And Ashley says, immediate rejection is always an indicator for me to look deeper at the thing I am rejecting. I love that, Ashley. Yeah, when we're having, okay, let me frame it this way. When we're in a healthy dynamic, in a friendship, a healthy aloha energy, and someone truly cares about us, and we've already vetted them out to be an authentic, trusted source, and they come with, could you be getting in your own way? Are you sabotaging yourself? And you're rejecting it immediately. Yes, that is a great thing to do. I'm having a lot of resistance to this, but that there is my loving friend or trusted partner, and I trust what they have to say. I'm feeling like sandpaper against it, but I better go inside myself because they might be onto something there. Now, you know, we're not going to just take anybody's feedback though, right? We're talking about the immediate rejection in a healthy dynamic and relationship where someone is trying to just look out for us and has our best interests in mind. And maybe they just see the blind spot that we can't see, right? So I'm not saying just go listen to some abusive psychopath or something, what they have to say, or some love bombing narcissist, right? No, we're not. Bye-bye. You know, I don't care what you say. Get out of here. But when it comes to those healthy relationships that you've established and you're like, you know, I think Nicole always has this, personally attacked. Like she will respond like, I'm personally attacked. And I'm like, and I've started using that too. Oh gosh, you know, like I'll just hear like a general message and I'm like, oh, I'm so personally attacked by that. But it's like it shines a light on something for you to look at. And that's the higher aspects of using this Eight of Swords energy to your advantage. We work with tarot because they give us like a visual example of what the energies could feel like, right? That's one of the reasons we work with it. And it really is helpful to be able to have that perspective. We got the Two of Pentacles as well. So the swords, mental energies, air element. We have the Two of Pentacles here as well. A bit of a balancing act. Does anybody feel like they're in a bit of a balancing act right now? Maybe it's with time. You know, a lot of you have the passion and the purpose. And I think Karen, I don't know if she's still here because they were traveling, but some of her comments on my Up Level series were so potent in the fact that she has her creativity, she has her passion, she has her love, she has her desire in there, but it's like, how do I get in the time and space where I can then birth it or bring it to the world? And that's what the Two of Pentacles shows. It shows a bit of a like, oh gosh, how do I even arrange my life? Like I have to work a 9 to 5. How do I arrange my life to get in that energy? Just when I think I'm hitting the high road, something pulls me down. I have to go to work, or I'm exhausted because I stared at a computer all day, or, you know, my kids need me, or whatever it might be. And so it can be a bit of this, like where we are doing this balancing act. And she's on her tippy toes, like toe shoes. And she's got these two pentacles that she's trying to keep in balance here. You know, it can also represent if we look at it from the perspective of wounding, it could be the way we're carrying the wounds, you know. Maybe it could encourage us to spend time on one aspect, even though this other aspect might be a little easier for us to chew on. Maybe this heavier one needs to be lightened so we can come into balance. So it may indicate, and you can see she's kind of turning her head like, oh, I'm about to lose that. That one's important too. I might need to, you know, balance my arm back up and have a little bit stronger look at that. So let's acknowledge that we're being pulled in different directions. Let's just acknowledge that, all of us, from work to family to our self-care, all the responsibilities we have, just living in this world, right? And this is what is so important to keep in mind. We're going to acknowledge it and we're going to keep working on it, because why? We're tenacious. We are tenacious here as creators, okay? And anybody got the Cancerian energy in their chart somewhere like me? Because you can draw on that. Cancers do not give up. They do not. They will not stop once they've set their sights on something. I'm going to clarify. I want a few cards. We're going to go to the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. I want a few cards here for the High Priestess. The High Priestess. We love her. Ooh, okay. These two are going to come out together. Oh, good. Okay, so whew, I feel a little warm here, but it's getting a little warm. We have had the windows open. It's been really nice. It's getting a little warmer. All right, look at the cards we have with the High Priestess, the Fool and the Six of Wands. So remember, I said before you get to her, you have to have taken the leap as the Fool into the unknown. And there's another song for us, Into the Unknown. I can't sing that high, I'm not a soprano. But into the unknown, the Fool jumps, right? May not even be looking where they're going. You know, the little dog is trying to warn them. They're familiar. What are you doing? You're going to jump off the cliff. Can't you see it? Where are your instincts, right? And the Fool is like, I'm just leading with my heart. I got my heart open here, and I'm going to follow my dreams no matter where it takes me. What danger? What are you talking about? So we've taken the risk. we've taken the risk. We've worked with the magic a little bit. The magician's in the middle, but it's not pictured here, right? And when we get to the gate, whether the high priestess lets us through the gate or not, we have success here on our side. The Six of Wands is a card of overcoming. It's overcoming challenge. It's overcoming difficulties, competition. It's winning. It's a winning energy here, and I really like this. Excuse me, in one of my up-level videos, and I can't remember at the time which one, it might have been the last one on the timing and destiny, the Five of Wands came up, and I remember, you know, Karen put some good comments in there about that, and she would now, if she's not here, if you're here, Karen, this Six of Wands is for you, I think. You know, I'm just going to say that because I know you're working with the five, and you'll get to it, but you know, it just might be time for a chat with the high priestess. Let the high priestess energy welcome you. Let that aloha of her vibes welcome you. And we're going to get a few oracle cards, and then we're going to move on to Ohana. We've got the Whispers of Aloha for our Aloha breakout reading here. Nicole says, sometimes when a message or something, a feedback is on the news, I feel personally attacked. Yes. And Nicole's brain did a little real song Into the Thick of It. Isn't it great how music can help us with these energies and teach us? Whew, okay, so when we think about the aloha energy and we're becoming present and we're really getting in those receptive energies, we got the number 3 card. I don't know that I've ever pulled this from this deck, but I love it. It reminds me of my Frequency Friday thumbnail for here. I've got this kind of vibe in it. Magnified and brought to light. Prepare. Here's our message. Prepare for expansion in heart and mind. It's coming, y'all. Jupiter energy here. Prepare. Expansion is upon you, right? So if any of you are feeling like a little stuck in the energies right now, this number 3 comes in and says, no, you may be pulled in this 2 and you're trying to balance everything out, but there's reprieve here. There's cycles happening here, and magnified and brought to light. I also think this is a huge theme for the collective right now. Speaking of, we did speak of Diddy earlier, we didn't really want to go there, but these things, these evils, these abuses, and these dark energies are being exposed collectively, magnified and brought to the light. You know, the shadow side of Hollywood, all of that kind of thing, right? So this is happening individually, but also very collectively. And I think this expansion, you know, you can't expand. The horse energy lets us know you can't expand. You can't move forward. You can't pass through the gate of the high priestess until you magnify the things that you need to see. Okay, and those can be the shadows and those can be the light. Those can be both aspects, right? But that's how we expand. We're going into the corners. Yes. The belly of the beast, Nicole says. Yes. Okay, I'm going to need a Sea Soul Journeys Oracle as well, and then we're going to move on to another reading here. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Thanks for the thumbs up. Ooh, this one, like the deck kind of went, and then this one popped out. It says, free. May your soul sing freely. May your soul sing freely. I love it. And there's this beautiful seagull. And again, the mirror effect here. The mirror effect, very popular in my readings lately, coming in once again. The water has a beautiful way of reflecting. And also dissolving energies. Look how the picture looks, so like the water is like carrying the image of the bird into it's diffusion is what I felt in one of my up-level readings too. There was a big energy of diffusion, and we're diffusing and we're seeing the parts, and then we can magnify what we really want to look at and bring it into the light. And so that energy can feel a little exposing sometimes, but it's also very empowering. It's very expansive energy. Okay, we're going to set those aside. Let me see if I can get Stitch here to say aloha to us here.
What's your badness level?
Aloha, Stitch.
Yeah?
Can you say aloha? Sing me a song.
Whatever.
Oh, he's being a little... I love you. Hold on.
I know you can talk.
I love you. He's being so naughty. I can't get him. I can't get him out of naughty mode.
Where are you?
I love you.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Island.
Island who? Uh-oh, no punchline. Aloha.
Sing a song.
Sing a song.
Aloha. Oi. Aloha.
Okay, he's in naughty mode and I can't get him
Are
out.
you hungry?
Oh my goodness. So we got the burped aloha version. All right, we tried, but he's not always cooperating. Sometimes you're sitting there talking to him, trying to get him back in the good mode, and he wants to stay naughty, I guess. So it's okay. He's working with his shadow right now, so we're gonna let him. All right, let's get a timestamp here, and we're gonna go into Ohana. Ooh. Ohana, family, soul tribe, our relations, all our relations. Let's get back to the Crystal Visions Tarot here. I'm gonna do a little bit extra shuffling here. There we go. All right, we're gonna get back into the Crystal Visions and we're gonna pull some cards. Let me know how y'all feeling about family, family time, family space, mother issues, father issues, children issues, all of the above, right? That's this Ohana energy. And, you know, in the movie Lilo and Stitch, they talk about, you know, one of the themes is Lilo is made to feel that she's bad, and Nani, her sister, reminds her, you're not bad, just sometimes you do these bad or naughty things, right? And there's that energy, and then that's a lesson for Stitch as well, you know, because he feels like he messed up during one part. It's because you carry empathy, you carry love inside of you, you carry that empathy. That's what makes you a healthy, humane being, right? Hi, Dr. Shreya. Hello. Welcome. All right. So for the energy of Ohana, family, soul tribe, we've got a couple of very interesting, all minor arcana energies are coming out first here. We've got the Four of Swords. This is a card of healing, and look how grounded and beautiful. And the red color of the root that is connected in with tribe, right, is here. And I want to say you're looking at her. She's in a red dress, and then there's red roses around with petals scattered. She's holding one sword, and the other three are on the ground around her. This is her working with one specific aspect of her healing. So I know I picked that up too in Aloha a little bit, but I think it's something specifically that some of you are focusing on with family. So whatever pops into your knowing first could be something to do with your mom, could be something to do with your dad, could be something to do with your friends group, right? Could be the desire or the lack of soul tribe or that kinship in your life. That's what you want to focus on here. So there's 4 swords in this card, but we're coming from the 3 of swords where there was a lot of pain, and we're showing she has released 3 of these swords and she's working on the 4th, okay? So we're going to acknowledge a lot of you have transformed already a lot of pain. It doesn't mean there's not some pain left. Healing is ongoing. This is one of those cards that can be with us ever present. Healing is an ongoing part of our journey. At times, it's going to be more sharp and focused. At other times, it's going to feel more diffuse and like it's kind of happening in the background, right? we don't want to get into those places where we're just shadow looping, and you don't have to be diving into an issue real deeply. Like, I mean, unless you're a Scorpio Scorpio can handle a lot of that depth really well. And for those of you who are working with something heavy, really work on connecting with your scorpionic energies for that. But for everyone else, like take it a little bit lighter. Let yourself rest. Give yourself plenty of rest and self-care when it comes to the healing process. Not every moment has to be the heavy cry. We're going to acknowledge the things that come up, but we're not going to force ourselves to stay in places that feel unnatural to us emotionally speaking. So allow yourself, really connect in with your heart and try to feel through, like, well, now I'm feeling relief, or now I need rest, or now I need to cry, and try to honor what's really coming up rather than hold it back. We don't want to hold it back. What I'm getting here in this reading with Ohana is that a lot of us, when it comes to family and soul tribe and love and loss, we're being encouraged to really work with our emotions, our changing emotions. We got the 5 of Cups here. It's a card of, can be a card of loneliness. So some of you are working to manifest more of your soul tribe, more like-minded, like-hearted friends, more supportive energies into your life. But in order to do that, you're grieving a little bit. You're grieving some of the past energies. For others of you, it goes even deeper into maternal and paternal energies. Grieving your childhood. There's an innocent feeling here. This mermaid has pulled herself up into the fetal position. And that would indicate to me that there's healing, sadness, could be guilt as well. If you're a parent, you could have some parent guilt about things as well. I'm picking that up as a thread in here. But also the grief of the childhood that you had, of the childhood that you wanted. There are 3 cups lying turned over in the water, and there are 2 floating in these bubbles, 2 chalices here. But her focus can't be on these cups quite yet because she has some emotional processing to do. So we're going to allow it without looping in it constantly, okay? Sometimes especially when you get good at shadow work, when you get good at looking in your shadows and digging in and healing yourself, that can be an addiction too. I've seen people never be able to come out of that because they're getting a lot of work done. You got to come up for air. You got to rest. You just got to take it one sword at a time, right? You don't have to get stuck in like another loop. I know there's the desire to be free of the energies that seem to persist with us throughout our life. Like some of us are looking back over decades now and saying, am I not done healing that yet? And I feel that energy, like it keeps coming. But also you have leveled up, you've up-leveled your emotional intelligence, you've up-leveled your spiritual connection, and that's where we want to see you. We want to see you being in these energies, being real, right? Being real and not avoiding the emotions, but also not getting stuck in the loop and then burning yourself out with it as well. And guess what else is coming up for Ohana here? This 8 of Swords again. Now, this 8 of Swords is giving me a different vibe this time. I feel like what this 8 of Swords represents in the Ohana reading here, which is family, tribe, and being around others, is that some of us, or all of us, throughout the course of those formative years, we're going to go with 0 to 7, okay, or even in utero, right, have picked up beliefs of the mother. We've picked up beliefs of the siblings. We've picked up beliefs of the kids at school. And we have had the tendency to, because the people around us were important to us and because our brain was still forming, we had the tendency to pick up these little ties, these ravens that are responding to us, and they tie us up, but it would be beliefs and things that aren't truly ours. And so we're working on unwinding that. We're still working on unwinding that. Sometimes the things we go through early on, because we've got, not only do we have the personal energies, right? Ohana family, we have the human family that's also in a state of crisis, right? So we're here during a really potent, intense time. And so we've got the personal, localized energies, which that's where you have the most ability to transform, right? And as you do that, it's like that ripple effect, that expansion that goes out. But then we have the collective constantly coming into our attention. And that's what I'm getting from this card. So here we are. We're still, we might still be trying to unwind stuff from childhood. We're trying to let that go. That was someone else. They believed that. That wasn't what I truly believed or felt. We're working on letting those things go while we're constantly being bombarded with these other energies, right? Don't look at that, look over here and get all tied up in this and what, the politics, you all know the politics and the religious, back and forth and the, all of that, like the polarity pulling people into the extremes. Really hard to unravel your personal stuff if you're getting caught up in that. And that's a big trap. It's a big, obvious trap. To those of us who see it, it's so obvious, it's painful to us that other people do not see that, okay? It kills me. It kills me that people invest so much energy into that when they just got to talk to their birds here and unwind a little bit of their own personal stuff. And then they won't even have the need or the temptation to get into that other stuff, which is an effect, right? It takes you off your cause point. When we looked at the Aloha reading, the Fool is the 0. You've got to be at cause with your heart space. For this expansion, it's about being in the heart space, all right? Because there are so many traps for the mind out there, and there's so many distractions. It will just pull you in all these different directions. All the while, you're trying to heal what's yours to heal, right? And it's tricky. But once again, we got the 6 of Wands coming in with the victory for us. This feels very good in the Ohana energy. I feel like this is a bit of ancestral energy coming through. Of course, we have the lion heart, Leo the lion. We can take pride in the work we've done to heal our ancestral lines. Some of you have taken the brunt of your ancestry. Raise your hand, give an emoji, say a hey if you have been doing ancestral work in your family. Heal your family patterns, right? And some of you, this has pummeled you this lifetime, all right? But look at this 6 of Wands. This is tenacity realized. This is the, oh my gosh, I hold the fire. I'm the wielder of this sacred fire. All right, it's wizard level stuff here, okay? This is where you can overcome. Not only do you hold the sacred fire, you're holding the wand, right? And it's a lesson of the magician too, because in the magician card, we see the magician with all of the elements, the wand of fire, the cup, the pentacle, and the sword. And the magician is trading out those elemental energies, which the magician should be learning, okay? All right, not should be, but is supposed to be learning, for the wand of the ether, all right? And the wand of the ether, and with what's going on collectively and all that stuff, if you're tuning into that, it's like a little radar. Okay, I'll tune into all that stuff. And I won't practice working with the elements. The fire element is coming up, wanting us to wield it. It's the fire of transformation. It's victory and success if we're willing to go through those fires, right? Has anybody here, and I know I've had one friend that has walked over hot coals. Has anyone ever done that? I want to hear about that if you have. It's possible. Like, it is really possible to do that. That's what I'm seeing, though. I'm seeing something like that. Of course, don't do that if you're scared of that, okay? Like, I'm not doing a promotion here at all for walking over hot things or working with fire in a dangerous way, okay? But in a transformative way, right? We're not This is candle work, right? This is candle gazing, gazing into a flame. This is being around a fire pit and enjoying community, ohana, family, having candles in the middle of the dinner table, having a fire, having the element of fire be present with you in these situations. If you're having a difficult conversation with a family member, light a candle for yourself and gaze into the flame as you're communicating. Let the fire of transformation be a part of you. And that's what's coming up there. And I think that's amazing. All right, let's go to the traditional Rider-Waite. What I want to clarify, I want to get a little bit bigger message here on this Six of Wands. It's come up twice now in each of the breakout readings. And it's giving me this sense that, you know, we're right there. We're right there on the verge of everything, even if we don't feel like it. So I want a few more cards here for that. I gotta say, it's looking good, y'all. When it doesn't look good, I tell you. When it looks good, I tell you, okay? This Six of Wands gets clarified by Justice. Libra energy here, the Justice card. Everything is going to be set into balance. Everything is being set straight. Some things have already been set straight, okay? This is beautiful energy. This is the sword of truth that this Justice card is holding here, that the character is holding, and then the scales in the other. It is tempered energy, right? It is where things come to light, things come to justice. The people who are choosing to be in an imbalanced, harmful energy and are doing harm, all that is coming out. And we are beginning. Now, it may not be enough for some of us. Some of us are like, okay, I need all that cleared out. I'm going to need all that cleared out, okay? It may not be enough for some of us. I get that, but it is happening. There is victory over clarity and justice, both personally and on a collective level, which opens up the possibility to meet others from the heart space, heart to heart. This is heart to heart conversations. For some, this might represent your heart health, cardiac health, the blood flow. Okay, I'm getting blood flow, hydration. Everybody get your water. Get your water. Nice big drink. Nice big drink of water. Coming into the heart, communicating from the heart, right? And a lot of you are bringing your relationships, especially those in your inner circle, close to you. If they're not in this balanced energy, then they're not going to be in your circle, right? It's got to be balanced heart to heart. And that's what you're intending, and that's how you tend or intend to transform, right? And so I want you to look more and more for this in your life. I got a lot bubbling up in here because, yeah, I've been dealing with this. And, you know, sometimes I'm getting the need to say this for some people. Ohana here, family, soul tribe, right? And Lilo and Stitch has this cute message of nobody gets left behind or forgotten. And from a certain level and perspective, that's true, right? From a certain perspective, that's true. But that doesn't mean we don't hold boundaries. If it's not healthy for you to be in direct connection with your mother or your father, then it's not healthy and you have a boundary. You haven't left it behind. You're not ignoring it. You're not forgetting it. But you have a boundary. Why? So you can do this healing work for yourself. So you can acknowledge your own emotions. Okay? If you're constantly talking to mom on the phone and she's, you know, guilt tripping you or making you feel like you're not paying her enough attention and, oh, I'm a failure, you know, I must be a failure. And then she's saying things that, you know, that drain you of your energy, then a boundary is needed, right? And I don't hope that for anybody, but that's a reality for some people, okay? That is a definite reality. Not everybody won the lottery with their parents here, with their family or their ancestry, right? Because these are patterns that get passed down here. And so there's different things to heal. And it's not to compare ourselves like, oh, I had a better or worse experience, right? It's to take what you've come to know that your soul has the capacity to work with it, even if it's ugly and nasty, and that you will find your way to the heart energies here. Now, maybe not with the person that you desire it to be. Maybe the younger inner child in you desires it to be mom and needs mom to be that nurturer, but maybe she's not. And so it's like, how do I have boundaries and balance and gain clarity in that? And also, when it comes to, and this is a big deal right now with accountability out there in the collective and stuff, no matter what I went through, how do I choose the fires of transformation over perpetuating a cycle of harm, right? So some of you, that's where the buck has stopped with you. Everything has landed on your shoulders, everything is on your desk, and that's why you need really healthy, good, balanced relationships around you so that you can work through that, okay? That you can. Now, I'm in a position in why I do what I do, somehow in my agreements up there in the soul realms, right? I'm like, I want good parents who aren't going to abuse me in this lifetime, because I know I've had other lifetimes where this was not the case, but in this lifetime, certain things had to be in place in my parental. I still had trauma. There was still divorce in my family. There was suicide. Okay. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. Unaliving. I'm sorry, but like, please, guys, it is what it is. Okay. And we're going to say it like it is. There was unaliving, people making themselves unalive. There was gambling. There was addiction, right? There was stuff. And that just doesn't heal overnight, right? And a lot of us are just, the energies are so potent right now in this time for us to heal it, that it's so important for us to have those good freaking friends, right? Solid people, solid tribe. And you know what? When you're really in the energy of your inner child needing the mom or needing the dad that you didn't get, I will tell you, there are elders out there. They will never fully replace that person or your need to have that from that particular person, but they sure can be someone to you. So don't forget your power of manifestation to draw to you the people, the elders, who they're not going to necessarily fill the hole, but they're going to gift you something to make your life more balanced and easier. So do not give up on that energy. And we also got for this reading number 26, living with significance. Precision makes an impact. Ooh, and we've got a little shark energy going on here. All right. Now, I know sharks can be predatory, right? And I think in this reading, what I've really been feeling like is y'all have really been working on relationships and partnerships and making sure that there's balanced energy. This is a very instinctual card. And so normally, you know, what I say in these readings is trust your intuition, trust your intuition, trust your intuition, right? Trust your instincts here. This is a more somatic, primal energy. Has anybody ever swam with sharks or just watched them at an aquarium? This is a 26, like I said, and that reduces to 8. That's an abundant number. Our instincts are online. It's the more primal energies. And this is going to sound really funny, y'all, but this is the energy of sharpening your instincts, okay? Maybe you don't wear that synthetic perfume for a week, okay? Maybe you use a natural deodorant instead of something synthetic, right? Because we are clearing the body. Maybe you're doing detoxing. Maybe you're taking off the fake nails. Maybe you're, letting your armpit hair, your leg hair grow. I'm sorry, but this is it. Little receptors. There's energies that we can feel, and that might sound a little weird, but if you're having trouble really connecting with your instincts, Those are some things you can do. This is about like a man growing a beard, that kind of thing. All right. Not for everybody. It's fine. Find what you like and find what you're comfortable with, but find a way to connect with your instincts here, because your instincts are connecting you with your purpose and your significance here. And, you know, at times, I know everybody hasn't felt like they're making a significant contribution, but I do think that in the other realms, your contribution that you're making is way more potent and effective than you can possibly imagine. All right. So it may not bring us much peace here, but as our energy transitions at some point down the road, when it's meant to, it will make a difference. And that's that Six of Wands energy where we are greeted and we are thanked, that we are honored, and they are proud of us, right, for doing this work. And so the last message here for Ohana is soothed. May you settle gently, even as the wave breaks above. May you settle gently. Look at that. That is a gorgeous card. Even as the wave breaks above. Right? So we're not denying or saying that there's not these crazy energies. We know our instincts need to be online. We need to sniff out the BS, right? We need to be really feeling these palpable energies. We need to be in tune to them so we can respond and move accordingly. But may we also have some moments here where we can see that, respond accordingly, and remove ourselves from that situation. So as the drama and the waves are crashing above us, we're at peace. We've released. We've let go. We're okay. We can watch. We'll have some popcorn. We'll sit back. We'll enjoy ourselves. And that's the message here to wrap up Ohana, right? Some of you are really doing a great job of clearing out these ancestral energies. Let me know in the comments whether you're live or on the replay. Let me know how you feel about those ancestral energies and what's going on with that. Okay, I want to know. I want to hear from you. Make sure you drop a like on this video. Let me know if you're still here. I know people go out, people come in, but say hi if you're still here. And we'll get into Mahalo next. Mahalo, y'all. Mahalo. So Mahalo is that beautiful Hawaiian greeting. Sometimes it's said when you're leaving, like I said it to the islands when I left the islands. It's gratitude. It's more than just saying thanks. And you know, in whatever language you expressed thanks or gratitude, or you say thank you, think about the deeper meaning behind that. And when you're saying the words, are you saying them authentically, or are you saying them as a program response? Okay. Because sometimes we get into this is the greeting, this is the ending, you know, we're our manners and we're being polite, but can we connect with a little bit more depth into that gratitude? Mahalo, mahalo, namaste, right? There's deeper meanings in these words. Can we even bring a deeper meaning to thank you? Thank you so much, right? The ho'oponopono. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. All right. We're going to get these crystal vision cards here. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, the Six of Wands has come out again. I shuffled, I cleared, and it's come out again. So the Six of Wands is here. And yeah, it's here for us. Okay. Clear my throat a little bit here. So here we are in the energy of gratitude. Okay. And I love this card, the Page of Cups. This is a youthful energy. It's a giving energy. It's an energy of curiosity, of maybe I can be curious about how it feels to maybe settle in. She's like partway in this lagoon. She's submerged to her waist, maybe I can settle into this energy of gratitude. And can I settle into such a degree that I begin to work with it as not only gratitude and thanks, but abundance? Is there an energy here that is more than what I see on the surface? And that's what's coming through with this Page of Cups. She's a learner and she's experimenting with this energy. Pages, youthful, energetic, but also with this being the Cups energy, she's really tuning into how she feels about it. How do I feel about gratitude, you know? And I think sometimes we have like all these wonderful, powerful, like gratitude journals and affirmations, and we're doing the things and it's all beautiful, but sometimes when you do it and then you're still bumping into something, you get a little resentful of that. Well, I've done all that. I've done all my affirmations. I've done all these things and I'm still bumping into something. What is that? It's something you need to transform. And the Knight of Wands, the Knight comes in. So we have the curiosity, the watery energies. We're feeling a certain way. And this Knight of Wands comes in and says, let's get a little more active here in the energy of Mahalo, in the energy of gratitude. This is kind of reminding me of the love language of acts of service. So for those of you who might be connected to that love language, in fact, if you'd like to share your love language, if you know it, drop it below, okay? The Knight of Wands kind of brings in and says, we're going to take action towards something. Because when we have these emotional energies going on, we're acknowledging them, we're curious about them, we're looking at them, we're holding them, right? We're holding gratitude, we're holding thanks, we're seeing how we feel about it, we're clearing out any resentment. We do that by movement. So maybe there is not necessarily an affirmation of gratitude that you could focus on, but maybe there's an act of gratitude toward someone or something. This is like maybe baking something for someone or gifting one of your neighbors, that neighbor that always says hi, you know, make them something nice or thoughtful. Writing a thank you letter that to an organization or to someone that has done something for you that just makes you feel good. The Knight of Wands wants us to take action. Not only that action in the sense of like, oh, it's going to make them feel good. Yes, we do want that. We want them to feel good, but we also want to feel good because that giving, the giving and receiving, that gratitude, receiving and giving is a big cycle. And there are parts of our brain that don't even know the difference. And so when we give to another, we give to ourselves. When we gift to another, this could also represent gifting for those of you who are gifters, right? A thoughtful, well thought out gift. Now we've also got the Six of Swords here. And this is a card of moving into a space of more peace, of letting go some of the burdens of the mind. All right. Nicole says acts of service, holding space and supporting. Jason says, I think mine is touch, but I have a few. Yeah, some people you're really closely on those love languages. You have very, there's like a top two, or some are together, and physical touch is one of them. Yes, yes. And Six of Swords here, though. We are definitely letting go of some burdens. She is not touching any of these swords. One of them she has recently let go of, okay? All of the swords have been dropped. These are maybe what I want to say even is the poisons of the mind. The poisons of the mind. These are being dropped, okay? These, remember those Eight of Swords, kind of thing that we had going on? This is our ability. We can sometimes take ourselves back through the 7 to the 6 and say, which one of these can I drop? Or what's going to be the most powerful one to drop first, right? And we can have a little bit of a little inner conversation with ourselves on that. This is the aftermath of going through something pretty tough, the Six of Swords. But it is a confirmation that you're moving into something better, softer, gentler, more aligned, all right, as she's going to drop these swords. You can't take it with you, right? Really deciding, what do you want to carry with you? What belief systems are you going to carry with you? What thought forms, and what are you willing to release to walk into that sunset there? And so then we have our Six of Wands again. 2 6s here, making us feel really good, making us like, it feels to me like some of you in this next, I feel like in the next month, are going to be hitting some milestones with your own transformational work. And I really, really, really want to encourage you to keep going and working with that fire energy, okay? Because it's come up in all 3 readings, Aloha, Ohana, and now Mahalo. And so, wow, we're doing a heck of a lot of transformation, but we've got our heart really invested in this. This with the lion in there, the lion heart energy, it's big, it's bold, it's confident energy. We've got the character here, the wand in one hand and the seeing stone in the others. This reminds me of the lost seeing stones in Lord of the Rings, the Palantirs. All right, and our ability to utilize those, right? And have victory over that. And it almost seems like, oh, and I also want to say the lion here has a little wreath, like a victory wreath, like around it here. I want to say it's surviving the trials, the fires of transformation, right? On a very energetic, transformative level. It really is about that. And I love it. I love it because all 3 readings, if you can get in this receptive energy. So if you go back to the collective reading, especially if you're joining later, I'll have timestamps on the replay. You can go back to the collective reading, listen to the oracle messages. Everything is tied together. And the 6 of Wands has come up in all 3 breakout readings as the glue that is holding all of this together. So Aloha, Ohana, and Mahalo. This is confirmation that if you're doing the work, you're going to have success in these areas, and that possibly you've already been successful. But I am feeling, particularly in this area of gratitude and maybe welcoming abundance, the next month is holding a lot for this group of creators that's listening here. There's going to be a lot that comes up. Ooh. I got a message. This one is for the collective, but Nicole, I think it's a little bit for you. 37, time to bask. Switch off, tune out, and re-energize. Ooh, we got the turtle, the wee turtle. The wee turtle is here, the tortoise. Oh my goodness, I love this energy so much. I love that like horse energy came out today. Lion energy came out, tortoise, shark. We have a really nice blend of animal archetypes for us today. Time to bask. Yes. All right, and I am so intending this for all of you that are listening. I know like Karen was on vacation and some of you are going on vacation, right? It is really being encouraged to soak it up. 37 could be an age, but 3 plus 7 is 10. It's when you get to that place where you can really relax. It's that change of scenery, all right? And it's just being, it's just immersing in that energy with our turtle here. It is the ability to slow things down, because sometimes the universe has this really cool way of reaching out to us when we slow down. When we slow things down and we bask and we switch off. Wow, you know, things are still going on. And let them. We're going to let them. We're going to let the things go on, right? We're going to let that work environment figure it out without us, okay? They're going to figure it out without us, right? They're going to figure it out while we just bask in the sun. Time to bask. And I think as a reward for opening into the energies of gratitude, that's what we receive, all right? And there's something for all of us in the next month coming in. So be open, be watching, give those times of pause a little extra attention. See if you can increase your presence in each moment. Let's see what the Sea Soul Journey Oracle says. It says, magic, may you flow with the divine. Yes, so flow is a feminine energy, right? Flowing, swimming, floating, flowing, right? This is allowing yourself to be carried by the waves of magic. I did not end up pulling the Magician card, but I talked to the Magician card a little bit. And I do feel like in this final breakout reading for Mahalo, this is all about relaxing into gratitude. It's about working with the water element here in some way. I know fire had a big part of it, but now I'm also sensing water has a big part of it when it comes to the flow. Maybe it's the edge between fire and water, right? Have you ever seen like the little glowing, like it's almost like a little glowing lantern on the water? I know I long ago was part of a neat community, and we did a little ritual where we took rice cakes because those were okay for like the fish in the ecosystem. And we put little, like, not with like the case on them, but just a little beeswax candles on top. And we made little floating luminaries. And we visited the creek in the dark of night and released them to go down, float down the creek. We were releasing the blocks and obstacles to receiving, to being in the flow, right? So lots of little cool ideas of how you can work with water and fire and the elements. That's what we came here to work with. We're working on mastering the different elements. And so Mahalo comes in and says, you know, this is a conversation. This is working with the elements. This is giving yourself time out to really be in the energy of gratitude, right? And really soak it up. Soak it up, because the more you soak it up, the more you share it out, right? Beautiful energies. I want to say, stick around for a moment longer because I want to make a couple of announcements here. So let me grab one final timestamp at 1:21:11. It says here. Now, what I want to say is this. I hope you can join me this Sunday evening, for live Q&A on my channel here, okay? 7 to 8 p.m. Central, Sunday, June 1st, and then I do every other Sunday for now. We might change that in the future because I'm building a membership community that's going to be super cool. But for now, we do that, and it is such high vibe power pack hour. That's where you get to come on and ask your own personal question. All right, you get a free mini reading on there. Donations are warmly welcome, but you just being present and giving me the watch time is so beneficial. I want to thank all of you who've stuck around and have participated in my recent contest. And congratulations to Yourself Evolved. I will be in touch with you. You're the winner for a free 30-minute Zoom tarot session with me. I'll be in touch with you. We congratulate her and thank you for everyone who participated. I will give a little special note to each of you who are especially in tune with that special and really took effort there. So I appreciate you all so much. I would like to extend that mahalo, but also keep your eyes open. I'm getting ready for you Geminis out there. I'm getting ready to come up with the Gemini monthly reading, and then we're going to do tarot in under 10 minutes for all the signs. So those of you you're so busy, you're working on all that balance, you're going to get a quick, nice, power-packed reading for your sign, okay? So Gemini will get a little longer reading. Everybody else will get the power-packed 10 minutes or less reading. And then each season, as it's each sign season, that particular sign gets a little extra special attention because we like to feel special, okay? All the signs like to feel special in their own way and feel honored in that way. But then we'll have these little 10-minute, and those are 7 to 10 minutes is great. You could do it on your lunch break. You all know too, that on, I don't think you can do it on lives, but on replays, you can fast forward the speed. So if my talking is too slow, you can do like 1.5 or 2 or whatever. And you can also slow it down. So if you want something slower, if you're really practicing that presence and you want to get in the energies, you can slow it down, just to train the brain a little differently. We kind of are in this where we have to balance it all out. So you may want to listen to a reading, but you may not have 30 minutes, but you might have 7 minutes, right? So we're going to do something a little different, give you guys a little burst of that. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you. Aloha, Ohana, and Mahalo. And I will see you next Friday. Bye.